So one of the important factors in carving the life that you want, living the life that you really want, and really a great life, of course, is to have healthy relationships. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that in this video from the standpoint of just not really a checklist, but some things to consider that would demonstrate the health of a relationship. And so, obviously, there are some facets of pursuing the ideal life, right? The life that you want, the life you're meant to live, where you're making your highest contribution, etc. And I've talked about those factors in prior articles. This is a key factor, of course, but the beautiful thing about this particular factor, the healthy relationships piece, is that this isn't a you have to wait for kind of thing. This is something you do right now and makes a massive impact in your life right now, right? That's key to the three circles living philosophy. I mean, when you come down to it, besides your health, relationships are what you have in life. It's what really makes life. And so you can work on this right now. And so I'm going to give you some ways to kind of put a filter to make sure you're spending the time that you want with the people that you want. And so this is going to be relatively fast, and this isn't everything, but it's enough for this little message. So, I break relationships down into categories. And so you have your love relationships. And this particular message is not about that relationship, although all these things would apply to that. But you have your love relationships, you have your friends, you have your community relationships, and you have your business relationships. And, there's all kinds of other components to this for other videos that I'll either do or have done about time utilization and maximization as it relates to business and community and things like that. But this is really just a general thing to consider, some points to consider as it relates to your relationships in general. So I think I've got like 7 here I'm going to share. I could have had 15. Actually, I had 15, close to 20, but I just boiled for 7 for here. So here are 7 things to consider about the relationships that you spend time and you nurture or you are around on a frequent basis or a consistent basis, depending on what the frequency is in those categories. So the first is, and this is just, again, it's my opinion and my experience, and you can take it for what it's worth, and maybe it serves and maybe it doesn't. You take what serves for you. So the first is, and in no particular order, it needs to be reciprocal. It needs to be a balanced thing, in my opinion. It can't be all your effort or all their effort. It's got to be, a kind of a blend of both of you paying attention and putting in, because relationships require input. They require attention. They require energy. They require some measure of time. And so it can't just be one-sided. If it is one-sided, then that's really not a true relationship. That's more of someone needing something and being filled by the pursuit, and the other not needing as much but not being as attentive. Or, obviously there are seasons in life when that this goes out the window, and that's part of showing up as a friend, right? If I'm in a crisis or my friend's in a crisis, I'm probably not going to be as attentive to a relationship when I'm in a crisis, but I should be showing up for them when I can, when they are, and not expecting reciprocal in that situation. But as a general rule, it should be balanced from an effort standpoint. Next thing is, what's the emotional impact of this relationship, right? Does this relationship drain you, or does it fill you? And again, this is a general rule, right? There are going to be times when you have to serve a relationship where it's going to take some energy to do it because that person really needs you at that time, and you'll be pouring out. But the relationships that are best, that you care the most about, that are significant, you can only have so many. I've heard some statistics say maybe 150 are the most. Now, I'm not talking about friends, true deep friends. I'm talking about 150 really relationships you really can nurture. I don't know the accuracy of that, because that seems like a lot to me, but I could see where it could be that. But as a general rule, like when you engage with this person, how do you feel? Like what's the imprint they leave on you? And I would encourage you that if it's negative, you have to really look at that. Is that a healthy relationship for you? Or are you behaving in some way that's allowing that to be the case? And I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to be. I'm just being real here. If a relationship is draining to me, I'm going to be very careful about how and when I invest time in that relationship. And so you got to consider the emotional impact, because anything that affects your emotions affects your attitude, and it affects everything else you do. So if you have a relationship in your life that's really unhealthy and it's impacting you in a significantly negative way from an emotional energy standpoint, don't be fooled by the fact that you think that's the only place it's affecting you, because it's not. It's affecting everything else, because it's affecting you, and you are in everything else. So the third thing is respectful. The best relationships, it's mutual respect. It's like I'm not judging my friends or the people in the community or the people in business for the choices they make about how they go about their life, because I have to respect that. And if I don't respect that, that's on me. That's my problem, and vice versa. So they need to be respectful, right? You don't have to agree, you just have to respect each other. Number 4, I would put in this little lesson is consideration and care, true caring and true consideration. Being thoughtful about these people and how you might be able to help them, or something that they would enjoy, or just little things when you're in the space together at some point, asking if they need something when you get up to do something. There's so many little ways to consider. And that's kind of will show you the health of relationship, when people consider you and vice versa, without like any agenda for that consideration. Next is reliable. Is this person reliable? Do they do what they say they're going to do? Will they show up when they say they're going to show up? And will they show up when you need them to show up? That tells you a lot about a relationship, right? It's part of trust. And trust, obviously, is at the foundation of all of this. You can judge the nature of a relationship by how trusting it is, right? Your best relationships are the most trusting, and it doesn't matter what category you put the relationship in. That's the way it's going to be. Next is encouraging. Do these relationships encourage you? Are they encouraging voices? Are they encouraging? And you can be encouraging and a voice of reason at the same time. That's all part of being respectful and being caring and being considerate. So there is a little bit of a blend here, but encouragement is such an important thing. Are these relationships encouraging for you, right? Are these people that are encouragers for you? Because that's a really important piece. Again, it is for me. And then the last one, just for this little message, is authenticity and honesty. Are you completely who you are, right? Or do you have to put on some sort of image or airs to feel like you are okay in the company of a certain person? Because if you do, that's not an authentic relationship, and which means it's not a healthy relationship. It's you're trying to get something from that relationship. Your best relationships, you're not trying to get something from them. You just naturally do because we're designed to be in connection with human beings. And so if you can't be authentically yourself in this relationship, I would submit that's not a healthy relationship. That's just me, right? Because that means there's missing respect, or there's some other emotional thing at play here. And this is just my little list here, but I would encourage you to put your own list together, or use these and maybe add to it to create the filters that you need to nurture and cultivate and develop and invest in the relationships that are most important to you. So I hope that this was helpful. Before we close out, if you're new to me, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on my Facebook fan page. I also have a blog where these videos end up, but there's a lot of content in there on all kinds of different topics, from leadership to interpersonal skills to productivity skills to mindset, etc. Things that are designed to help you do the best you can in life, because that's my personal mission. And also, the most important thing for anything is your health. You've got to take care of your health first. That's my primary business and has been for years. You know, I know a lot about supplements and how they can really help you in your health journey. I have access to all kinds of programs. So if that's an area that you'd like to up your game on, reach out to me and I can share whatever you need to learn to help you make best decisions for your health going forward, because there's nothing more important than that. All right. Hope you got value and have a great day.